Hello guys and welcome to another video of myself. Today we've got ourselves a bit of Potm sterling, but mainly Potm sterling investments that I think could double between now and then. You know, although I guess the video may look a little clickbait, I do believe these players can generally double because they're very safe investment. They're very cheap at the moment. I'm not recommending you Edison's, Fernandinho's and so on because that's a very long stretch on them doubling. I'm reckoning very cheap cards, you know, nothing really more than 7k, or I think nothing more than 9k in this video. That should rise either prior or very easily should rise if they're required whatsoever. So let's go and crack underway with the video. We have ourselves a few different sections. We've got ourselves like England, teams he's played against and teams he's played for, and finally we've got ourselves the Premier League. So we shall move over to the squads. There's lots and lots of players here. And we'll start with Man City, the team he plays for. So Man City actually only have 8 affordable players. So by that I mean 8 players that are under 5k from Man City. Other than that, you're then moving on to obviously using bronzes, silvers, Edison, Fernandinho, David Silva and so on. Very a company, you know, it's a very expensive team. So there are a few investments you can get. Now, one thing I say is if you can get any bronze, non-rares or rares under 400, pick them up. And if you can get any silver, non-rares or rares under 700, pick them up. Although they're not going to be right here, they're just very good investments. Because if they need a full Man City team, you're using bronze and silvers instead of golds and they'll all become extinct. But nonetheless, let's move on to a gold. So I believe that due to the hype that either Sane is going to win it, or I think mainly the hype is around Sterling's going to win it. I think that, you know, we'll see Man City players are going to be a pretty good call. As every single time so far, I think they've needed players from the home club for, maybe apart from the Spurs, but they definitely did for Chelsea and Arsenal. But of course, Man City have a lack of players you can use. So here are a few cards you can go and get. Mangala, I'm saying you go pick him up for 700 coins right now and sell him hopefully about 1.2 to 1.5k on the pre-hype. I think all Man City players probably will go to 1.2, 1.5, but I think going with Mangala, going with gold's a little bit safer, so I think that's decent. I'll also try and run through the video quite fast because you guys seem to like that yesterday. So we've got Stones right here. The reason I quite like Stones is because you're only paying about 1.1k for him. I think with him being a high-rated England, we'll move on to this in a bit, but there is a lack of high-rated English players, which means Stones is pretty good for that. And then on top of that, he's also a good value for money Man City player. Then move on to the last one, which is Laporte. Laporte is, again, a good value for money Man City player. And then on top of that, he's the only good value for money 83 rated centre-back in the Premier. You have Laporte and David Luiz, but David Luiz is always in about 4 or 5k, whereas Laporte is only about 1.5 to 2k, therefore a lot better value for money. So, yeah, that's why Laporte is decent. So again, you're paying about 1.7k for Laporte, hopefully from about 3.5. It's probably the most risky investment, so I guess we'll get it underway very fast. Of course, so Sterling obviously played for Liverpool before he played for Man City and took a fine sum of money. So with the rating split of Liverpool, you go for you go for Salah, Van Dijk, and then you go down to, what was it, Alisson and Fabinho, and then you go all the way down there to 83 Keita. So you'll see, all the way down, but you know, you just go down 2 ratings. Therefore, as you can see, there's just not really much. Unlike Man City, where you got 82s, 83s, 84s, 85s, 86s, yep, 80s, maybe 87s. There is really just a lack of high rare players from Liverpool. Therefore, as a result, Alisson for about 9k is actually a very good investment. So if they require, let's say, anything that's higher, anything 84, obviously the higher the better. With a Liverpool player, he'll be an absolutely insane investment because again, he is the only cheap high rare player. Nonetheless, we could also use the likes of, so again, you're paying about 9k. Naby Keita right here for about 1.4, 1.5k right here. Again, if they need a high rare Liverpool team, should be very good because he's the only 83 rated of which you'd use in SBCs. Moving on to the last one, we got Henderson. He kind of also represents a few of the other 82s in Liverpool with the likes of Wijnaldum. I think that's probably it off the top of my head. But yeah, Wijnaldum, Henderson. But I've gone with Henderson because you're buying him for about 900 coins. He's English. He's from Liverpool. Of course, he can use in the England team. And for, what's it called, Sterling. And of course, he can use in the Prem one. Loads of easy links as well. Then over to Man United. That's one of the teams that Sterling, you know, won't beat against. We've got 3 players right here. We've got the likes, again, a lot of these investments are very safe investments. We've got like Juan Mata right here, 1.5k. He's actually one of the cheapest 83 rated players from the Prem, which obviously works in favour. Playing right mid, centre mid, right back over on a 5k. Not too bad right there. Within over Jesse Lingard, again like Henderson, he's English, he's from Man United. You're only paying about 1k for him. He's actually one of the high rated England guys like Henderson and Stones. So that makes him a nice little double investment. And then finally got Leon Bailly. There is a lack of high rated centre backs in the Prem. So Leon Bailly, I mean, I say that, it's quite a lot of A2s, but he's not too bad. For about 1.5k, Leon Bailly should do pretty well, because again, you know, he's one of the higher Man United, which there aren't too many, because otherwise I've been using A1s of like Smalling, Rashford, and so on and so on. So Bailly ends up being pretty good for 82 rated. Then head over to another team that they beat, and that is Southampton. The interesting thing with Southampton is Southampton this year don't have one rare goal player. Every single goal player from Southampton is non-rare, which means theoretically they'll become a lot rarer and a lot faster. And their highest rated also, of course, being non-rare, and that is being Vestergaard. You can pick Vestergaard up for about 600-700 coins. If you need a Southampton player, honestly, I'd say these players are tripling, quadrupling. You know, I'd say they potentially can hit 6-7k, especially for Vestergaard, the highest rated. Then over Bertrand, of course, he's an English left back. Not too many high-rated English left backs this year, so Bertrand can obviously double down on that. And Eluai again, there's not too many high-rated left mids this year. You have Felipe Anderson, then you go down to Bernard, and then you go down to the 279s. So again, Bertrand and Eluai both about 600-700 coins. Should be nice, easy investments. Then over to West Ham, the final team which they played in the month, and we've got ourselves Felipe Anderson. The reason Felipe Anderson is good is because the distribution of ratings on the left mid for the Premier League goes 84s of Son, then down to 83s of Martial, then down to 82s of Felipe Anderson. So they're really, and then down to 80s of Bernard. So you either use an 80 or an 82. Therefore, if you need rating for a 1.5k, I think it's a 1.9k investment, Felipe Anderson can be very good, and as a result we can easily see him double if you need a full Prem team. Then move on to the likes of Jack Wilshere. Jack Wilshere is just a 600-700 coin investment, not bad because he's English, also non-rare, therefore you know, likely to get, well, expensive in a short time. Then move on to Arnautovic. There is a lack of high-rated strikers in the Prem, although you do have Lacazette going down in price and Morata going down in price. But for a 1k investment for, you know, the highest rare player or the joint highest rare player in West Ham, a very safe investment. So that is that done. We've basically speedrun this, which I'm sure you guys will be happy to know. Then over to the second squad, just done this, so it's easily a little bit easier visually. And we move on to the Premier League and England. So we've got ourselves Pickford right here. There is a real lack of high rare players from England. You basically go well, you got Harry Kane of what, 88, 89. Then you go down to Sterling of 85. And I think I'm not missing anyone. Then you go down to the 84 of Dele Alli, and then down to 83 of Pickford. So you can see that there really isn't any high rated. You're basically going to be Dele Alli and Pickford, but I really don't think Dele Alli is likely to hit 12k unless there is some high rated England team needed. So I've got some cheapos right here, and we've got some Pickford. You're going to buy him for about 1.3k. Could very easily rise in pre-hype. One of the best guys I think in this is going to be Harry Maguire. Most recently seen for the Sturridge when Harry Maguire was needed. He sat at 3k, peaked about 5k. So for a 900 to 1 coin investment, 1k investment, we can see Harry Maguire being very good. Like a high-rated right backs in the Prem, let alone for England. So Trippier being the highest rated right back you'd want to use in these teams due to Valencia and Walker, the only two cheaper, not being too appetizing to use in SBCs. So Kieran Trippier sent about 1.5, 1.7 we can see very easily got up for the SBCs. Also in general, one of the highest rated right backs. Then move on to the high-rated non-rares. These cards again could easily find their way. I mean, Klein's the second highest rated right back, second to Trippier. So if you need a high-rated English team, we can easily see Klein go up a fair bit. Because normally when a player is a high-rated non-rare, means they're a little bit lacking in supply in the market. Therefore, yeah, we could see all of these guys do pretty well. And for honestly, I mean, I think Cahill and Klein, you might be paying like closer to 1k. Milner and Lallana paying 600 coins for them, a very safe investment. Bear in mind they are one of the higher rated English players. Then finally move on to some very safe England Premier League investments. That being Marcus Alonso start off again, like how I was saying with how there's a lack of right backs, there's also a lack of left backs. We have Marcus Alonso, and then we go down to the Mendy, Davies, and that Liverpool guy, which is gonna, what's he called? Anderson? No, he's not Anderson. Robertson. Andrew Robertson, that's the guy. You move down to them with the 81s, so he's the highest rating Premier League left back. You're going to buy him for about 2.5k. Again, you're going to need him being required to go up a fair bit, but likewise with any of the cards that are slightly more expensive. But yeah, buy him for about 2k, 2.5k. He is actually, again, a banger to buy, and then up to hopefully about 5 to 6k. Then move on to Socrates. You're going to be buying him for about 3k to 3.5k right now. Only 84 rated centre back. He would have done amazingly last month, but obviously everyone pre-invested in Arsenal, so he didn't do too well. So yeah, not sadly, you know, Socrates failed last time, but recently we saw with the Sturridge he went all the way up to 7, 8k, which gives me a little bit of faith in him. just because he's the only other 84 rated centre-back from the Prem, unless you're planning on using Mr. Davinson Sanchez. If so, you are a psychopath. So move on to a few of these other positions. Just got Lucas right here. You're going to be buying for about 1.2k. High red right mid. I mean, there is, you know, with Bernardo Silva and Mata being cheaper, it's not that bad, but he's, you know, basically discard 82 rated right mid, so not too bad. And finally, we have Mr. Alvaro Morata. Couldn't remember his first name. Going to be sent about 1.5k. And again, the thing with Morata is there's only 183 rated striker in the Prem, of which you'd want to use in SBCs. Therefore, for 1.5k, if a lot of Prem players are needed, he should be pretty good. Again, he's also good to hybrid in with the high rated Spanish. So that is the speed run of how to double your coins between now and sterling, whatever I've called this video. I generally do think a lot of these players can double even on pre-hype, you know, because just buying some of these cards are like 700 coins, especially with the Man City guys. I think definitely Maguire. Yeah, just under pre-hype for sterling could do pretty well. Again, a few of them going to have to require them, especially moving towards the latter of the Prem and Alisson. So how can you go around with this advice? Okay, this is just something I want to throw in there quickly. You can go absolutely ham on investing in them. So I could go out right now and go buy between now and it might be, because I don't think we've had voting yet. Let me go check quickly. But yeah, because we haven't had voting yet, it honestly could not be next Friday, but the Friday after. So I could go and buy 15,000 Maguires. Has this started yet? EPO, I don't think so, no. No, it hasn't. So, so yeah, voting hasn't really started yet, so we could honestly have all the way till 2 Fridays time, which gives you enough time to buy like 5, 6, 7,000 Maguires under 1k. Which would be kind of insane, but, you know, each their own as such. So other things you can do other than rash invest, or mass invest in one player, is go buy one of each players, because it's really not going to cost you too much to do. It's going to cost you about, well, probably about 6, 7k for England, probably about 6, 7k just for the Premier League investments. It's a really, really cheap investment, just go and buy one of each. I mean, West Ham's going to set you back for around about, what, 3.5k. These aren't going to set you any more back than 2k. What do you have? Mangala. These aren't going to set you any back more than 4k. These are obviously going to set you back about 13k. These are going to set you about 3k. So there really isn't, or 4k. There really isn't too much to be worried about, because you're only going to invest about, what, 30k maybe if you go for the whole thing. So not too bad. And you could do that like 3 times. You go buy one of each 3 times. Or again, if you're on my main investments, I'd say maybe Laporte. Stone's going to be a solid one, and maybe Harry Maguire, I would say, are going to be the bangers. So thank you very much for watching the video. If you did like it, make sure to drop a like. Comment if there's anything you want me to change with it. Maybe I'm speaking too fast now because I'm making too much of a self-conscious effort to make the videos fast. So yeah, hit me with that. You can check out my Twitter. I do tweet when I'm live and when YouTube go live. You can subscribe to my Twitter. Well, sorry, you can head over to my Twitch. I do stream every single day. Been a bit rubbish recently, but hopefully I'm going to get back on the grind of that. You can subscribe over there, which is what I was going to say. Write daily trading guides for my subs over there, which I send out, which is like in 4 or 5 days' time. Always, you know, become like YouTube videos and so on. So yeah, you can do that for free with Amazon Prime. And I think that's about it. So thanks for watching. I say make sure to like the video if it did help. Subscribe if you want to see more daily content. And yeah, I shall see you guys tomorrow with, maybe I'll have a sniping video. I haven't had a sniping video for a while. I haven't uploaded for a while. So yeah, that should be good. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.